This is our paranormal podcast because this is our paranormal community, and we want to support you here on RU Media Network. We are proud to be sponsored by the Haunted Hinsdale House in Hinsdale, New York. Here are your hosts, Brian Mersall and Sean Gilmore.
What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday fun day over here. Sorry, I'm trying a new intro. The outro I had the other day for Wednesdays, like I felt good about it. You know,
what happy hump days?
No, I did. I hope we helped you over the hump, help you slide on down in the weekend. I liked it. I thought so. You know, so I was like, what can we do for Sunday? No, I'm gonna have to throw a Sunday fun day. I tried it, guys.
Sunday fun day.
It didn't work.
Go,
I don't know. I thought I would try it, guys. I'm feeling good though because Ohio's going to the Super Bowl. It's not the Browns, but it's Cincinnati Bengals. So go
and
Bengals.
Joe Burrow. Whoop whoop.
Yep. So I'm hoping that we have San Francisco versus Cincinnati, just because I think that'll be fun for me.
So wait, Ohio's like
first for who?
What's that?
So like the Bengals are for sure going to the Super Bowl?
Yes, they just won right before the show started.
That's cool.
That's what I told you.
No. What did you say?
I said that they won and that they were going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but who won? You didn't say Cincinnati.
Yes, I did. I said the Bengals because of Joe Burrow. I told you the whole thing about Osir's Ohio fan.
I'll be honest, I didn't know that
Brian didn't know that Cincinnati was Yes. See, I'm not that big in the footy ball either. I'm not that big in the footy ball either. But the end of the season, I always get into it. It's always fun.
My gosh.
My son's like really into it, so I always hear like his end of it. But I don't know.
How was I supposed to know? I just don't.
I mean, you got to be in the football.
Yeah, we had this discussion before you came on that he did not pay attention to football. Which is totally fine. Everyone has their own thing. It's all gravy.
Yeah,
I didn't know the Bengals were from Cincinnati.
He was like, you didn't tell me they're going to Super Bowl. I was like, well, I told you the Bengals were, so.
I'm not that much into football, but I knew because it's always been the Cincinnati Bengals. It's not like a team that's like changed their names.
Yeah, totally. I'm with you.
Yeah. Do you pay attention to baseball? Because Cleveland changed their name. It might get confusing.
Yeah, the Guardians, right?
Yes. There might be other teams changing their names too. Who knows?
I would know that.
Washington is finally replacing their name. They said by the end of February they were going to release what name they were going to replace it with because, the football team is just...
Honestly, that team really is twisted. Or that name.
Yeah, it really is, yes.
And like, if people think about it, like, I don't... Like, Chief Wahoo, that's racist. I don't know if Indians is racist. I don't know, whatever. But I feel like Chief Wahoo, that caricature definitely was kind of racist.
It is incredibly offensive.
Right.
Like, I'm glad they're changing it, but they are going from just being a football team to... Because it's so weird to call them the Washington football team. I think they're going to be like the Twitterers or something.
Right? I don't know.
I don't know.
But, you know what? They just got rid of they decided one day they're going to get rid of their basketball team. So they're just going to be, I don't know. I'm more into basketball than I am any other sport. So, and there is something else I was going to bring back or say. I don't remember what it was. See, but everybody knows our awesome guest, Ashley Storm. She has been on RU Media.
Not true.
Everybody knows you on RU Media. You had a show here.
Yeah, but like 5 people watch my shit. No, I'm just kidding. I mean maybe.
You know what? We are up to 12. So, I mean.
I think like Peggy watches my show and Angela watches my show. I think that's about it.
Well, I saw Peggy say hi. See, Peggy's here. So.
Hi, Peggy.
Peggy
awesome. Watches everyone's show, though. Yeah, she's amazing.
She really is.
If everyone was like Peggy, the world would be such a beautiful, just amazing, wonderful, loving place.
Yes. Oh, I just want to share the same thing.
Don't you make me blush. Stop it. You guys know I don't take compliments well at all. I'm feeling very hot right now. My face is... It hurts. Don't make me do that. Hey, Shawn. Hey, Tony. David.
All right. So we are here today with Ashley Storm, who also is a paranormal investigator and also has an awesome podcast, but also owns the Broken Bow Asylum.
Whoa.
Right?
I just found out it wasn't in Ohio. What's up with that?
Because the world...
Unlike the Bengals.
See, the way that it works is Ohio is the center of the universe.
To people who live in Ohio?
That's what I thought, Shawn.
Same thing with Texans.
I know. See, that's the one thing I've always been kind of bummed about, because I hear really cool things about the Broken Bow Asylum. Now, you also have a haunted house there too, right? Or
they used to.
Okay.
The guy that I bought it from, he used to run it, and like the whole story with what they were doing with it. That's part of how I found it, was because it was running as a haunted house. But I don't run it anymore for other reasons.
Okay.
And sure we can get into that. Yeah. Well, sure. Not necessarily that. It's just I don't like bringing that type of energy into that location. Like, it was a trauma center. It was a nursing home. It was an alternative school. It was a level E, like halfway house, basically for juvenile offenders after they got out of juvie. It was a nursery. It was an asylum at one point, like a makeshift asylum, basically, with people who didn't actually have any mental ailments or illnesses. They were just placed there because their families couldn't take care of them, like how you would drop people off at a county house or a poorhouse. Yeah. That's what they ended up doing at the asylum because they had so much room.
That's wild.
But they only used 2 of those rooms for their asylum patients, and that was only for about a year before they started just shipping them off to other places. That way they didn't get in trouble for it. And it's only called the asylum because of the haunted house, because it's also been a haunted house too. It's also been an EMS and fireman training center. Like, they have all of the wings now. There are barriers that are put up because the firemen actually used to do training courses in there and sleep in there. And I've talked to like 6 of the different firemen who used to sleep in there, and they would not go to sleep at night unless someone else was in there with them, because they feel people like grabbing at their feet or trying to like yank them out of bed or playing with them and stuff, or hear footsteps down the hallway knowing no one else was in there talking, all that stuff, which still happens.
Oh, wow.
All the time.
Do you sleep there?
Mm-hmm. All the time.
All by yourself?
Yeah. It's so much fun. People ask me that all the time on my haunted tours and the flashlight tours. They're like, do you come in here by yourself? And I'm like, well, yeah, what? Why wouldn't I? That's creepy. But to people who don't do this all the time, or, well, that's not even true, because some of the people that I've met don't sleep there overnight because I can't, because of the way the place feels. But I just think that I just have a different relationship with the location than other people do. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I've put the time and work into letting them feel me up and charge me and be aggressive and try and, not in like a try and get me out way, but like literally they size you up. Shawn's been there before. He can vouch for that. They size you up. Like, as soon as you walk in, you have just this immense feeling. And it's not even just in the building. It's when you're walking up, you can feel like people are just watching you from each of the windows, even though they're boarded up. You know, you can feel something behind them watching you. And when you walk in, even if you're not sensitive or anything, you can feel how heavy the building is. People always comment on that. And they comment on how it gets heavier and heavier the further back you go into the building, like when you're going into the trauma center, or especially when you're going over towards the North Wing, which was the alternative school level E, but also the nursing home at the same time. Like, just all these different things happened in this place. It's a lot of energy, and it's really old. It was built in 1954. So It's been there for quite a while.
Wow. And back in 1954, they didn't have the regulations that we do for.
Oh, no.
Places.
And you have to, I'm sure you guys are aware of this, a lot of the places that even though the regulations changed in like the late 70s, early 80s, a lot of those places didn't actually adhere to them until the late 90s, early 2000s. Like they still have a few places that are running without adhering to any of those types of regulations. One of them was actually in Texas, just like a few miles down the road from where I am. It was called the Wysong campus. And it was like basically like a jail cell that was just this tower with bars and stuff. And apparently the stuff that went on there was very untoward, and that they beat their patients and starved them and all these different things, you know. And just because we're in a different time doesn't mean everyone does better. And that's not just with asylums, that's everywhere.
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 I mean, and when you're talking about even just like mental health and the way that mental health, I mean, if you even try and do research for a mental health hospital now.
Yes.
For a running mental health hospital. There aren't many, if there are any.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. And that's one of the things. I have a friend who's a nurse practitioner for one of the main hospitals in Cleveland, Ohio. And that's one of the main things that they complain about is that they have nothing. People come in with mental illness, and they can have them come in, they can get them calmed down, but then they have to send them out because they have nowhere to send them to.
Yep. And even before COVID, I mean, the resources just weren't there. And that's part of what we do with Paranormal Bully Busters is spreading the resource information for the online, like for anything you could think of crisis resource wise. I mean, everything is there, from child trafficking, spousal abuse, child abuse, gambling, NA, you know, literally everything, and especially mental health. A lot of what we do is fundraisers for the veterans alliances that do mental health checks and give them free mental health care, which is insane that we should be having to do fundraisers for them to even be getting this type of treatment.
Yeah.
And homeless, a lot of what people don't realize, and I actually did part of a study in college about this, was that a lot of the homeless community, because I was interested in psychology, but it was too much for me. People, as an empath, that was too much, taking on like everything, because you can't just process it and be logical about it in that sense when you're like how we are. But a lot of the homeless community is people who have some type of mental illness that was never diagnosed, was diagnosed and then went unmedicated because they couldn't afford their medication, and their lives just kind of like, they went from being completely functional members of society to living on the streets because they couldn't afford their medications. And so if we bring more awareness to the fact that that's treatable, like being homeless is like a huge problem in the US, especially now after COVID. Like, it got immensely worse. We have so many people that are homeless living on the streets that if they just got the proper treatment and medications, or even just therapy sessions, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody needs medication. Yeah. We could have so many people off of the streets and back into society the way they should be, but we want to blame it on our economy and things like that. But healthcare and mental health care are sorely lacking. And so we spread the resources for all of that. You can't get it. Like he said, there aren't asylums, or not, I don't even like calling them asylums, but mental institutions, mental health hospitals open anymore. So these resources are all you really have. They're 24 hours. They're completely free, which is amazing. You don't have to have any type of insurance to call them and get these resources from them. That's awesome. It's so frustrating. It really is.
It really is. I mean, you see all over social media how there are people like say they support mental health and all of that, and I'm not saying people don't, but the thing is that the medical field really doesn't have the support that they need.
No.
And that's why it's important that people like us do support. There's a lot of people out there who are struggling, especially with COVID. I mean, how long were we all cooped up? There's still people who are afraid to leave their homes because of COVID.
Because of Oliver being so young and my mom having an autoimmune disease. She has RA and she does chemotherapy for her RA. So for 2 years, his whole life has been inside. Like, he goes, when we go to cabins and stuff, he can run around or yards and sometimes the park, but I like wipe everything down. But he's only ever interacted with one other child that was in our family. He doesn't, you know what I'm saying? He's never just gone to the grocery store with me. That's not okay for anyone to live that way without physical contact. Even just seeing someone face to face and having a conversation, it really does take a toll mentally.
I definitely agree. So, and it's just not there when we need it most. But hopefully somebody down the line will figure out a way to do it the right way. I know that there are places, at least in the Cleveland area, that do focus for teenagers.
Yes, that's a huge problem. That's part of why we do the anti-bullying thing, because the suicide numbers in the last 3 years have gone up 38%.
Wow.
38% from, it was at 40. So we now have a 70% rate that we're seeing in teenagers and like kids from, I think the statistic was from ages 9 was the youngest. Like, wow. If a child feels that hopeless because they've gone to their teachers, they've gone to their principals, they've gone to their parents, they've gone to every resource that we tell them is available, and they do absolutely nothing.
Well, I'll tell you what, my schools, where my kids go to school at, they do nothing. They don't tell us unless something extreme happens. Even when something extreme did happen with my son, I had to pry it from the school principal. It's absolutely insane, and they don't want to handle it. It's like they don't want to own the fact that they could or might be a problem with something.
Yes.
There's actually a high school student in the high school here. She tried to start an Instagram page for support of the students who are being bullied and who are being treated, with racism or any sort of
bias that they have against them.
Bias, right? Even as a LGBTQ plus support page, everything, the school made them take it down. They said, "There's not a problem. You're making us look bad. Take it down." It's absolutely insane what's going on with these schools. I remember I graduated in 1998. This was right after Columbine, and if you got busted with so much as a pocket knife, you were expelled. There was no bullying. Freaking, they took it seriously, and it's just like, and now here we are 20 years later. It's like, where'd all that go?
Well, you have to think about this, and this is part of why I stopped teaching, aside from COVID, because they wanted us to be nurses more than teachers. And I'm like, you don't even pay me enough to be a fucking teacher. And now you want me to sit there and risk my child's life, my mother's life, my life for regulations that you're not going to uphold. Like, you guys would be surprised how many times parents actually drop off their kids. They give them aspirin or ibuprofen or something before they drop them off to get rid of the fever and the symptoms and stuff. And then by noon, that kid is puking all over the floor, had just exposed the rest of his class. And that was just for flu, RSV, things like that. I can't tell you how many times I got sick as a teacher all the time because they can't miss work and things like that. So they're going to put everyone else at risk just because they can't miss work. Well, with COVID, how many kids do you think ended up, when it first started, when they first went back to school, and the schools that chose not to just do virtual, how many of those kids got fucking sick? It was insane. And it's because the parents were doing the same exact thing. They don't care, and it's maddening, but they also don't care about really not necessarily being parents anymore, but the administration themselves, because you have social media. What goes on outside of school, they have no control over legally. Yeah. So when it comes down to it, a lot of these cases, it's happening outside of the school. So they have no liability when it comes down to it. And it's too hard to put so many resources into investigating, probing into these things when they can't even teach their classrooms properly. We don't even have the funding to get the equipment that we need in our classrooms, let alone the resources to actually help these kids. So the Stomp Out Bullying campaign, the one that we do the fundraising for, they go to schools and basically like retrain the administration, the principals, like all of the staff,
Right.
and then do an orientation with all of the kids to kind of reprogram everyone to understand the long-term psychological and mental effects that being rude to someone has, and looking for the signs in someone who themselves is being abused or treated poorly, like especially cases of sexual abuse in children. That's been one of the flags that we're told to look for. Somebody who's bullying and acting out like that has something more going on most of the time. It's not just that that person wants to be rude and angry and acting out that way. They're being hurt themselves, so they're hurting others in return, because that's the only way that they can kind of regain control. They can't lash out at their abusers because most of the time it's their parents. So they lash out at other children. And when you see it in kids who are 4, 5, 6, who should not have learned to be malicious at that point, you really have to look at the home situations. And you'll find most of the time CPS needs to be involved or called because there's something going on.
My daughter had a kid messing with her, and they just kept on messing with her and kept on messing with her. This is in the 1st grade, mind you. And she finally got sick of them shoving her, so my daughter just pushed her. They fell on the ground. And guess who got in trouble?
Your daughter.
My daughter. There's no investigation, no nothing. I mean, she didn't even get in that big of trouble. But still, she felt bad that she got in trouble when this kid's been bullying her for weeks at school. She finally just got sick of it.
Yeah.
So it's sad. And
because in those situations, there always has to be an aggressor, and it's easier to go after the kid who never does anything and just be like, it's fine, it'll never happen again, than address the situation with the kid who's consistently causing problems. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the time to spend on constantly checking in with this kid or keeping up with their progress. So they're just like, whatever, it's fine, we'll just punish you a little bit and then just let it go, because when I tell you they're on empty, they're beyond empty now. I can only imagine being actually having taught through COVID, because I almost lost my mind before it. Could not imagine doing it now. Could not.
I bet.
David, you have a great point. You are told everything that you need to do and everything that you are supposed to do by curriculum, right? And you're supposed to have all this equipment and all of these supplies and things in your classroom, but they don't have the money for it, right? And most of your kids can't afford to sit there and actually supply your classroom as well with their supply list, especially nowadays. So then you have to pay out of pocket, and they always say, we'll reimburse you. I can tell you, as 5 years as a teacher, I was never reimbursed once. I spent more than I ever made being a teacher. I had to get a second job just to make ends meet as a teacher. It's insane. It's ridiculous.
That's a shame. Now, with your, I'm sorry, not to kind of like change the subject, but you are very much, you mentioned several charities that you work with. You work with charities for, like you said, for the bullying and everything, but you also do a charity for, you have one that's coming up, right? You just put up a...
I do the winter drives. Yeah. So we do the winter and summer drives. So every winter, I have a list of the different packs that we make for homeless shelters. It's winter packs, sanitary packs, food packs, and safety packs. So it's just a bunch of just absolutely necessary items. It's not just frivolous things. And we donate it every year. We choose a homeless shelter in Dallas or sometimes Oklahoma, just depending, to donate all of these things to. So when we get everything together, we go drop it off, and we usually choose a different one every single time. So the resources are being spread, because there's so many homeless shelters in Dallas. But this year we're doing it for the Veterans Homeless Shelter.
That's awesome. And you actually have a link for a Amazon shopping list, right?
Yeah. And I actually got most of this stuff through money donations, like through PayPal and Venmo and stuff. The Amazon list didn't really get filled, but I ended up getting most of the stuff we needed. I still just need blankets, the tarps, And canned food is a big thing that we're missing. Like I have most of the safety packs and the toiletry packs done, but the food packs, we need a lot of those.
Yeah. I did put the link in the.
Thank you so much.
I tried. Facebook is not letting. What is going on? An error occurred. Wait a moment and try again.
I think it did send.
Did it? Because it's showing on my end. It didn't go through.
Yeah, because when I posted something like that too, and it showed an error, but I think it went through.
Facebook, what are you doing to us?
I'm telling you.
I know, right?
It's the rise of the robots.
Like, so I think that it's amazing that you use your platform though for such a good cause. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I feel like if people have to listen to us talk, they should at least be getting some help at the end of it. I usually, and I didn't give you guys this disclosure, I usually tell people before they have me on a podcast that I'm not responsible for your therapy afterwards. But it's been pretty mild so far. So, I mean, you guys should be good. You'll be all right.
I think, we have Becca and Barb here with us, guys.
Hello.
Barb is a doll.
Like an actual doll or like a sweet lady?
No, a doll.
Doll.
Yeah, a doll. So Barb, actually, it's actually kind of a cool story. And actually, Brian should be telling us. It's his story. Brian had a team that he worked with through his college. Well, it was a club, right? And so they had this team that he worked with, and they had this doll. They brought to every single investigation that they went to. Now, they must have gone to a ton of investigations. I don't know how many investigations they got to go to, but they got to go to a lot. So one investigation, a psychic and like some other teammates, like they got this like really bad feeling about this doll. So they took this doll someplace in New York, and they never saw the doll again. Until one day, we were talking about the doll on this show, and Joe Parodiety said, "Hey, I have Barb," and now here we are years later. And Brian just got Barb back like a couple months ago. Well, it was the beginning of mid of 2000.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah.
You got the doll back. Fuck that.
I know, right?
That's pretty wild.
Crazy shit.
We don't do dolls, yo. Like, I'm so happy that you're reunited. But if you ever come to visit, I have to insist that she doesn't have to stay home, but she can't stay here. You dig? Like,
I understand.
You're not a fan of dolls?
No. I used to pop their heads off. So, like, my mom would always send me Barbies because, like, little girls, you get them Barbies and stuff. But I was always a tomboy. And she would get me the dolls, but I don't know why. I've always been just absolutely terrified of them. So I would pop their heads off and bury the heads in the front yard and bury the bodies in the backyard. So that way they can never, like, come to life and attack me.
So you're saying if Terry Long decided to make Bow Asylum a long gone doll, you wouldn't accept it?
Nope.
Wow,
nope.
Okay.
I love her work from far away as long as I don't have to be in the same room as them. I love looking at creepy stuff, like creepy dolls on the internet, like Addie's dolls.
Looking at you right over there.
Yeah, like when you move, I get a little mad. I actually cleared out all of the dolls from the haunted house wing at the asylum finally, because I'm usually by myself in there when I do the tours and stuff, but I finally had someone else with me. I would not touch the dolls while I was alone, because in case any of those motherfuckers or all of those motherfuckers decided to, like, just get up and start ganging up on me like toy soldier, not doing that.
You watched Raggedy Ann and Andy too much when you're a kid.
No, I actually watched Chucky. I watched Chucky when I was very, very young.
Even knows about these movies. Back in like the 70s and 80s, they had these Raggedy Ann and Andy movies. And these dolls,
I know what you're talking about, and they're freaking disturbing.
And
yes.
Like, I mean, it's like this doll behind me. It like comes to life, and it's like there's a boy version of it, and there's like a walking donkey horse thing. I don't know what the heck it was, but like for some reason, that was like I don't know, the 80s, the 70s, and 80s. Like we had some like crazy shit to watch
because everyone was on them good drugs. They had that good shit. That was before the FDA started getting real strict. That was right in the midst of Quaaludes and, like, there are so many TV shows that when I watch, like you said, like the older ones, I'm like, them motherfuckers was high as hell, bro. Oh. Like when you watched it when you were younger, you didn't like understand like why it was so weird. Like that fucking pinball machine movie with the Who. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? The Pinball Wizard movie?
Yep.
Tommy, whatever. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So when I watched that when I was little, I was like, oh, this is cool. Like this is lots of music and he's playing games like da-da-da. My husband and I watched it as grown-ass people and I was like, these motherfuckers was taking acid and just wrote a movie. Oh, like this makes it's not lucid at all. It's not like coherent. Nothing about it makes sense. But when you're little, you don't understand. These people are just fucked up. All of them.
Yeah, entertainment back in the 70s and 80s was a whole nother world. And some of it was creepy as shit. Jim Henson got his start with the Dark Crystal. I don't know if anyone ever saw that. That's a creepy puppet. Creepy puppets, man. You want to see some creepy, scary puppets, go watch. That's actually one of my favorites. So
when Jim Henson was trying to start Sesame Street, he actually was really good friends with James Earl Jones. And so he brought him into one of the meetings and they showed them the monster puppets. And he said, I don't know if that'll work. James Earl Jones told him, don't use the monster puppets because they're going to scare kids. But then the monster puppets ended up becoming the most popular thing about Sesame Street. That's why like Kermit, Miss Piggy and everything that broke off into the Muppets and Sesame Street became the monsters and Big Bird and those characters.
Really?
Yeah. I watch a lot of Sesame Street with my son. That was a little fun info thing at the beginning of an episode.
My
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, my mom said I was scared of the count when I was a kid. I don't know. I don't remember it. My mom would do it, and then my sisters would make fun of me. They said I was scared of the count. I don't know. The count was scary. I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember it. I don't honestly. I don't remember most of my young childhood. So, yeah. I don't know. But I watched Fraggle Rock all the time. I don't know. Fraggle Rock was scary.
Fraggle Rock didn't have any vampires.
They didn't. They didn't have any vampires. But that was still some weird puppets, man.
Yeah, they were. Super weird. Again, another instance, they were totally on drugs.
Right.
They was on some shits. Like, have you ever seen the original Big Bird? He's scary as hell, dude. Oh my God. So one time I was like, Ollie, let's watch one of the old episodes. And I put it on. And as soon as Big Bird came on, Ollie screamed and went, no, and went running. And then when I saw, like, truly looked at him, I understood why he screamed. I'm looking it up right now.
I'm looking up right now, too. I don't know. Was it green? Why am I looking at a green?
No,
that's like Big Bird on meth. What is that?
Yeah, that's him. That's the original Big Bird. I'm sending it to you now in Messenger.
What?
That's what I'm saying.
Big Bird on meth. Like, seriously.
Tell me he is not on the cocaine. Come on, son.
That's crazy. We have to share this with everybody. Because I know this is not paranormal, guys. Sorry. We go down lots of rabbit holes here. We'll get into the paranormal shortly.
Animal? Yeah, Animal played the drums.
Yeah, Animal was the shit. I liked Animal. So that's him right there. He looks stoned. He definitely looks stoned, that's for sure.
That's great. I don't see anything wrong with that.
No?
He looks like Dave Chappelle's Tyrone character.
No, that's just like a little like pom-pom or something. No, I think that's...
They ran out of feathers.
That's just beautiful.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, man. Poor Brian. He's like, why we got to do Sesame Street like that? Big Bird ain't do nothing to us.
Right, man, you don't know. What about the letter people? All right, the letter people, that was some scary shit too. I don't know if anyone. We had to watch that when I was in kindergarten.
What's the letter people?
The letter people. Oh my gosh, you know, I'm
about to Google it.
Look up the letter people. And they sing songs about letters, and they're weird looking, and yep.
Oh, I do know what you're talking about. I thought you meant like people dressed up as like actual letters. No, I know what you were talking about.
Yeah, the letter people.
Oh my gosh. This is bringing back so many memories.
I mean, they're still weird, and here's some plush toys that they made from the letter people. I mean, this stuff is, I mean, seriously, this is like straight up only in the 80s. Like, come on. Like, where do you think Raggedy Ann came from? The Annabelle doll. Come on. 70s and 80s. That's where all the scary shit came from. Look at that. Like, what? And they would sing songs about the letters.
Yeah, not very well.
No, not at all. Not at all. I don't know. I tried really hard to just stick with Reading Rainbow because that was good.
Fuck yeah. LeVar Burton for Prez, yo.
Yeah.
What's up?
From the Bengals.
Oh my gosh. Brian, I don't know if you heard, but Cincinnati's going to the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, they are.
So this thing here, I bring this up in shows every once in a while because I grew up in a haunted home, like probably a lot of other investigators. This is a product of the 80s. It's called The People. Here, called The People.
He looks kind of like Monchichi.
It does kind of look like, right? Looks like he came out of Star Wars, but so like the nose is a sensor for light. Then the eyes light up and it makes like this really spooky, like beeple sound. And so like the thing is though, like this thing would go off on its own. It, like all the time when I was in this haunted home that we went to, for whatever reason, I was in the home, liked to mess with this thing. I think it doesn't even work right now, but I can make it make the noise.
Do you ever use it on investigations?
No, because it doesn't work.
What if?
And if
they make it work?
It won't work.
Well, that's the issue because like if you bring it as a trigger object, the only one being triggered is you and your team. Right. So it kind of like defeats the whole purpose.
Right. So like this thing though, like it would we'd be like in my bedroom. This thing would be in the living room. Always like face down or with this facing away so that light would be affected by the light. And it was like that on purpose because this thing like would go off anytime anyone turned on a light or turned off a light. It was annoying as shit. But we'll be sitting there though, and all of a sudden you hear in the other room this thing freaking beeping. It's like, what the hell? Like, how is this thing even going off? Or it'll be in a pitch black room, the light wasn't even turned on, and the thing will start going off. So this thing here would always scare the crap out of us. And I was at my mom's house a couple years ago now, and I saw it. I was like, holy crap, Mom, you still have this thing? So I grabbed it. I was hoping it still worked. I need to find some tech guy that could maybe fix this.
Jeff could probably do it.
But this came out of the 80s, and this thing is creepy as shit.
Yeah, how did that go? You don't have to set the scene again.
No.
I got the vivid. Wait. What?
A people sound.
A people sound. I was trying to make it. My gosh, I'm laughing so much. My eyes are tearing. Let's see if I can make the noise. You know what? I have it. Oh, wait. Here's my batteries. One thing about us investigators, there's no shortage of batteries. Doesn't matter. Do you need 9-volt? How about some D batteries? I got some of those for you, too. No.
I'm getting too old to sit in a chair like this. I need one that's more ergonomically friendly.
That's why I have this big chair. I spend a lot of time in this chair.
Yeah, I'm constantly like moving around in this, especially with like this weird like camera angle. I'm always like shifting around, pulling my leg up, and yeah.
Yeah, I've just spent like the past 10 minutes with my leg on my desk because it was more comfortable that way.
Amen.
I'm in a closet, not like gay-wise or anything. Totally cool with gays, by the way, but I'm actually literally in a closet. It's a very small space.
I'm in my basement I've turned into like a little man cave office. This is also like I work from home, and this is also like right over here is my work computer, and so that's why I have this nice comfy chair, because I spend, like I said, way too much time in this freaking chair.
Do you ever slide back and forth acting like crazy, super important, like you're rescuing the world or some shit? Like a spy, like click, 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 click. Back and forth.
It's actually sounds more like this. There it is. We're getting a soundbite for sure. We're getting a soundbite.
I'm trying to get this thing to do it. It won't. Because like before, if I would just connect the battery, it would make the noise. It's not doing it. Maybe it's too cold.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, well, you gotta save stuff and make stuff happen.
That was it. That thing's creepy as shit, isn't it? See? Imagine, like, yeah.
No, you know it's creepy.
The Gilmore call. So let's pretend like you're in a power outage, right? You're playing some spades with some friends, right? And it's black. The only light around you are the candles on the table because you're playing some spades. There's no power. Back in the 90s, right? Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, that noise comes up. Like, that shit was creepy. There's no explanation for why it's turning on. There's no lights. There's no power. It did that crap all the time. Yeah, that's the only way I can get it to work.
Well, show it. Show it so we can look at it.
Making the nose blinks, not the eyes.
It's so cute though. It's like a little Yeti. Little Yeti go.
We're gonna have to have some therapy here if you think dolls are no go, but you think that thing is adorable.
It is.
And like, what's crazy is like I keep this thing with the battery like all the time. I kind of like hope that it goes off one day, but it never does. But if it does, then that means it's the spirits of this house. Like the spirits of my house now, like they're not malicious at all. They're just like here, kind of coexisting. And yeah, so but like those things in the 80s, like this, I'm telling you, it's scary as shit. Freaking Chucky. He came from the 80s. Did he start in the 80s?
Late 80s, mid 80s, 86, 87.
Yeah. The scariest shit came out of the 80s.
I don't know. I mean, Chucky's one thing, but there's like so many other scarier things. Like
he says in my new book,
the doors kept opening. You should trust your instincts.
Go for it.
This is crazy, isn't it?
I knew it was coming. I knew it. It's his transition. You know it's coming.
Hey everyone, it's Sunday Fun Day here with our paranormal podcast. And it is the Into the Abyss section where we ask you 13 fast fire questions, answer them as quickly and as thoroughly as possible.
Okie dokie.
Sunday.
Trying to get the Sunday Fun Day thing down, Shawn.
You know what? It is fun though. I'm having fun.
We're having a fun time.
All eyes on you, Ashley.
Why? Don't do that.
All right, Ashley, I'll give you number 1 and number 13 as a reference point. Are you ready?
Yep.
Number 1. How would you describe the afterlife to someone who believes there's just black and nothing when you pass?
Peace, beauty, and energy.
The Broken Bow Asylum is about to be demolished, and the only way to save it is to permanently have no less than 10 haunted dolls in each room. How would you navigate this tricky situation?
Let it get torn down. No, just kidding. I'd have the dolls. I just have to suck it up. I'll just have them in a room that I don't go in. Bam. Done.
In each room.
Oh, fuck off. I'll keep them in a cage in each room. There we go. You didn't say they had to be free.
Always a loophole. How does one hone their empathic abilities?
Meditation. Meditation for sure. Learning your triggers too.
Like the people. If you could create a new piece of paranormal equipment, what would it do and what would it be called?
Something that brain maps psychics or people who have special abilities like on site without having to be hooked up to a huge machine. And I don't know what I would call it, but I definitely want something like that to see if there's something going on when we have communication sessions.
Love it.
Well, actually, it's got to have a name.
The brain fucker.
Ooh.
What is the most haunted location in Texas?
Your mom. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure she's a lovely woman. Dorothy Mantooth is a saint. No, fuck, shit. I don't really know. Probably one of the hotels in San Antonio. I don't know. I haven't investigated Texas much. It's closer in other states to get to other states.
What is the most challenging thing about owning a haunted location?
Dealing with the egos. Almost every single person that asks to book now is like, I have 4,000 subscribers and this and that and this and the third, and I should get a discount because I can help bring people in. And it's like, if you really wanted to help the location, you'd pay full price, you dick. I don't care how many followers you have.
Right.
Like, my location doesn't run on how many followers you have. Don't act like that. That's just, and this field shouldn't be about being seen anyway. So don't come with that attitude because it's gross to me.
What's the most memorable milestone in your paranormal adventure so far?
Filming with Nick Groff, because as much as I talk shit about everyone on TV, he's like the only person I have not talked shit about that was on TV. So I'm not gonna lie, I like kind of not fangirled, but it was just a really very surreal experience to be able to investigate with him and see how he reacts too, because he's more sensitive than people I think realize.
Okay.
To spirits and energies and stuff.
Talk about surreal situations. You, Shawn, and his people are going to a haunted location that you've never been to but always wanted to go. Where are you three going?
Vlad Tepes's castle in Transylvania, but the real one with the bear pit, and he put the heads on the stakes. Not the one that was used for filming.
Okay. What is your favorite part of Broken Bow Asylum?
The relationship that we've developed over the past 3 years. The way that you can clearly feel the change in the building and feel the change in the energies that are there. We have so many active and intelligent spirits that constantly interact with us now. It's definitely become a much nicer place to be.
Now, the paranormal is full of unanswered questions. If you can get the answer to one paranormal question that no one has the answer to, what would it be?
Why we always see ourselves in the white light in a near-death experience, because I'm not the only person that I know that's had one. And we've all kind of had the same story. I want to know what that light is that we all kind of see, and not just psychics and mediums, but it seems to happen to a lot of people. It's not like a light. It's warm. It feels like a heat source more than a light, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Speaking of warmth, it's the Gilmore Wallet time. He's your new angel investor, and he wants to help upgrade your setup. Tell us your dream non-closet paranormal office.
Something with a comfortable chair, obviously, and I don't care as long as it's decorated with spooky shit. You can put me in the most, I don't know, ugly looking room, but just decorate it with spooky shit and I'll be good.
That's what I got going on.
Yeah, I just like spooky stuff. I don't even care about equipment. I'm not fancy. I get my shit off of Amazon. What's up? Nice. In the clearance aisle.
Nice.
Decision time. Live your entire life with a doll strapped to your body at all times. Or have to wear the original Big Bird costume for 1 year.
Oof.
Big Bird costume. If my first job was at Chuck E. Cheese, I don't mind being in a animal outfit. I can rock that shit. I'm also really good at Sesame Street stuff, so I could probably end up making a living off of it. So definitely
Big Bird. Wear it to bed and everything.
I'd preen my feathers and everything.
I understand.
Call me Big Bird, baby.
All right. We have a fighter name if you ever, another boxing ring or something. Number 13. You've garnered a wonderful paranormal community, obviously. What's one message you want to give your paranormal community?
That they are very much appreciated and they have such beautiful souls. And they're more appreciated than they will ever know. Words can never truly describe how wonderful it is to find a family that's, not blood, and all of our crazies go together so fucking well. It's a beautiful thing.
Amen. Oh, I thought you normally give a warning. Here we are, number.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. How much appreciation?
You did, and it was actually concise.
I really well.
Yeah, I thought you did pretty dang good.
Thank you.
I love your answers on a lot of those. Being empathic myself, that really hit home. So
much appreciated. I was gonna say underwater for the investigation thing, but I don't want to get too deep into that. Ha! Get it? Because that's one of the things that I want to start doing. Hey, puppy. Hello, Boochie Booch. Hello. Oh, those little paws. I always wanted to do underwater investigations because regardless of whether or not they've died on land or under the sea, in a shipwreck or a plane wreck or something like that, their energy has to go somewhere, If it stays in the houses that they die in, why wouldn't it stay at the sites of wrecks and things like that? And we have so much technology that records underwater, OSHA's. Not OSHA. It's OS.
Ocean?
OCSA is the main one. Ocean. But it's the oceanography. But it's that James Cameron level type shit. The recorders that they have that can go into crazy depths and things like that. And the recording devices they have now. And we can also collect samples of the water and see if there's anything different in the particles in areas that you're getting activity and stuff. I've always wanted to do underwater investigation. That would be so freaking cool.
That's awesome. Not even just shipwrecks, but there's the whole towns that were that are underwater now, part of underneath reservoirs.
And in Italy they have a shit ton of them. Yeah. And around Micronesia in Guam, and they have quite a few of those, like just broke off and kind of sunk down to the bottom. It'd be so amazing.
I'll stay on land.
You want to put on a scuba diving outfit?
I would do it if it was like for the solo run challenges with me and Shawn. As like a cute little thing for the podcast.
Oh, we should do that.
I am all for staying on land because like it's like your home, man.
It's not, but I studied marine biology. Like what I wanted to do was marine biology in the first place, and that's what I went to college for. So like I understand. Like if my husband tells me I'm crazy, he's like, "You're gonna get bit by something." I'm like, "Yeah, that's totally a possibility. I'm in their territory now. Like I'm not the boss, and if that happens, that happens. Like I'm well aware of it." But I don't just go. He tells me don't go swimming in no ocean with no sharks and go scuba diving or nothing. He says it just like that too.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
I think some of like the scariest video games that you could play, or any like moments, are when like you're in the water and like you don't know. I'm like, oh man, like scary games are cute, you know what I'm saying? But like if you're ever playing a video game when you get thrown in the ocean or it's anything with it, you don't know what's going on. And I always feel like this, like me and my good friend Austin have like the same thing where you're almost like you feel hopeless because you're like in the big ocean, you don't know if sharks are coming, like you don't mess with that stuff. I don't know. That's like worse than sleeping at like a haunted location.
Plus like the whole like breathing thing, right? So like even if you're like in a suit or if you're in a submarine, like what if something goes wrong? Then you know you're
or if you come up the wrong way, you can end up giving yourself an embolism. Like it's very tricky.
Actually, see, that kind of happened to my dad. My dad was a scuba diver, and he actually came up. I don't know if he came up too fast, but like back in the day, because my dad was older, and he actually would spend time in those compression chambers, you know.
Yeah.
And he ended up having to get both of his hips replaced and like some other things going on because oxygen like got into his bones.
He got the bends.
Yeah, wasn't good. And so that's like a real thing. But he loved that scuba diving, I'll tell you what. So that's why he is resting in the bay there in San Diego. So.
That's awesome. I've always said when I pass away, and my husband again thinks I'm fucking batshit. I don't understand why he's very normal. He's very normal. Like compared to me, it's just I guess we just kind of even each other out because he's like terrified of everything, and I'm like, I'll fucking do it. Let's go. But I want to be cut in half, and I want half of me fed to an Orinoco crocodile in the Orinoco Basin in the Amazon, and then I want the other half of me fed off of the coast of Africa, one of the jumping ones. So that way I'm like forever part of the circle of life. Like I know I'm going to end up there shit at some point, but I'll be in the ocean. But I want, and he goes, why do you have to be eaten? Why can't we just burn you and spread your ashes? And I'm like, because I want to be eaten by them. I don't know why. I just feel like that's like such a nice way to give back to Mother Earth. Like I'm going to be a meal, like the circle of life type shit. I don't know why. I just want to. I'll be dead. I won't feel anything.
So once you pass, you want your body to be thrown out with like shark bait.
That's like chum, yeah.
Yeah, chum. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
I mean, they to each their own. I mean.
Yeah, I was gonna describe the differences between like people being afraid of their feet getting tickled or pulled sleeping at a haunted location versus like the fear of oceans and sharks and stuff. But then you came out with this like, getting chopped in half and fed, and I said, I don't know, like that's a lot. That's a lot going on there. I don't know if
I told you I'm not paying for therapy.
I get it.
It's fine. I don't know. I always grew up, and I don't know why this always hit me so much, but that scene in Lion King where he tells him, that the antelope eat the grass and the lions eat the antelope, like everything is one. Like we are all connected somehow, literally. Like it's a chain of things. And wanting to be a marine biologist so bad, I was just not in the right place for it. I'm stuck in the middle of Texas. The only options I had were working in an aquarium. And I don't like that. Like open ocean studies is where it's at for me, but I couldn't do that in the middle of Texas. So being fed to them is like doing my part to feed back into the beauty of it. And okay, they're the most apex predators. They're some of the oldest creatures we have on the planet Earth. They're badasses. I'm a badass. I want to be eaten by badasses. Like,
there you go.
We're gonna go out super hard.
What about like
writing a memoir?
Those giant squids?
I would love to swim with one of those. I would absolutely love to.
The thing is that they would have to store out with chum. They just swallow you whole, probably.
Yeah.
Those things are huge.
And I'm just gonna be glad I'm dead for that, because their beaks.
Right.
Oh my god. No.
Yeah, that's where I have an issue. Like the beaks, nothing else. Just that was like
not the tentacles, not the fact that they're as big of a house.
Yeah, appreciate you bringing that up, because that was my only concern.
Was the beaks?
Yeah, that's really it.
Tentacles are like calamari, just not fried yet. Okay, you don't gotta be too afraid of those. Now the beak is a whole different story. Once it gets you close enough to the beak, that's when the real damage starts to happen.
Dude, Wolver just said that he's going to be sending me to the bottom of Lake Erie looking for Bessie.
Fuck yes.
Well, there is a story of a like a monster in Lake Erie.
Is there music going on right now?
There is. I was waiting for you to notice. Like that. So, like, StreamYard has this new thing, so you can have music playing back.
When did you play that?
I just started it as soon as Into the Abyss ended. Yeah. They have all different ones.
I can't hear
you. Scroll all the way down to where, like, the pictures are and stuff. Scroll all the way down. I could turn it up.
Do they have, like, 70s porn music?
They have Feeding the Ducks. Let's see what that is. That's almost porn music.
I was about to say that's kind of the one I was looking for.
Oh wait.
You're the pizza lady.
It's about to
Oh no! Oh no! Oh shit! This just reminds me of Supernatural when fucking oh my god, Gabriel does the whole porno shtick. Holy shit!
Oh, that's right. So they have all different ones. I just wanted to see if you guys would notice and see if it was like something like.
I thought that was just the TV. Like I thought I was just hearing residual sounds. Shout a shit, bitch.
So yeah. Real quick though.
Yes.
Wolliver said he's going to have me going in there because I'm doing a new project with Wolliver. Mysteries of the Road, and we actually I announced this a while back, but it's with COVID and it's like life, we're getting back into it, guys, and it's gonna be so cool. And Wolver dropped a little teaser for it, so it's pretty cool.
Do you have it?
I do.
Are you in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like an old, like he found like an old clip of me from must have been my Ectovision days. I'm not shaved or anything.
Can we watch it?
Shaved. You want me to share it?
Yeah, I want to see. I don't know. I just like to see old videos of Shawn. It's just like I guess any video of Shawn. It's a teaser for the.
Yeah.
Like I'm interested in the show, but I'm also interested in you. So.
Oh well, thanks.
Yeah. No.
Here, I'll play it real quick. So here it is. I was going to use it as an outro for the show today, but instead, guys,
And then
play it. No.
Brian had to ruin it. I understand.
It's all good. All right, so here we go.
The world is full of stories about strange encounters.
Was that you?
Unexplainable happenings
No, that's
occur
all.
every day to regular people that they can't fully explain. What's really going on out there? How do hauntings affect people's lives? Are there UFOs cruising our skies? Are there creatures of unknown origin roaming our natural world?
Can you go back?
Join the Mysteries crew as they travel to America's
Was that you?
for cryptozoological, UFO, and paranormal events to investigate the claims of eyewitnesses and try to uncover the mysteries of the road.
Willer, you killed it. You're a savage. That was really cool. Who edited it? Was it
That's all
Wolver?
Wolver, I believe.
Oh, my man.
He got that buttery ass voice,
Yeah.
I know, right?
like butter.
You said you wanted to rewind to the part I was in here. Let me get back.
And then can you go to the settings and like slow it down a little bit?
I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah. So like the settings cog.
You can do that with YouTube.
Yeah. Do like playback speed at 25 or 50%. Because like Wolver, I think you did a good job, but like I feel like Sean's part was a little too short.
Travel to America's
there.
hotspots
That's me.
for cryptozoological, UFO, and paranormal events.
Farther. And,
Okay, further.
Yeah. And then also you gotta do the playback speed too.
What? Do the playback speed?
Okay,
I've
so the
never done
cog
that. Hold on.
settings. Yeah. Bottom right in the middle, it's a cog with a red thing. Perfect. Bottom
there
right.
it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Go to play. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 25 or 50. 25's cute. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Sean Gilmore. He says creatures of the night, and it's just your face.
Oh my god.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
Oh my god.
That's perfect.
Oh my goodness. All right. Puppy needs all the attention now,
I think she wanted to leave, but that's okay. Ashley, thank you for asking. This is my therapy dog. She helps me through all of the deep topics and challenges that we're. Now I'm going to be thinking of octopi beak. Very, very scarring. Don't get too close. Thank you.
I don't walk around with octopi in my pockets. I'm not gonna like throw one at you. You're okay.
Yeah. Well.
You said, "Well, I don't trust you." I've heard the shit that's come out of your mouth, lady.
You're
I
gonna
don't
be
trust
in
you.
the bird suit for a year. So. Very concerning.
Oh my goodness. So.
Yeah. What were we saying? Yeah.
Well, apparently
That's cool. So wait, what episode are you going to be helping with?
all of them, I think.
All of them. Is there one that's like Sean Gilmore? You know what I mean? Like
No, it's a team thing. It's Wolver's
yeah.
and he asked me from our Paranormal podcast, Goose from his show, and Eric.
And I get that.
And he didn't ask me, but it's whatever.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm too far away. The fuck I look like.
But like, is there like you're the Lake Erie episode? Sean Gilmore dives in Lake Erie to find See, okay, that was beautiful. Which one of you did that?
Not me. I don't have control over this show.
I had money on you because
Yeah.
Shawn really didn't even know how to do the playback speed. I was really surprised that because I've done that
never
before.
messed with the playback speed on YouTube. Sorry,
Shawn, I'm impressed.
I can't talk.
Shawn, I am impressed at the speed at which you got those octopi beaks and you uploaded it because normally I do that stupid stuff. Not that yours was stupid, but that was on point. I'm a proud man. I'm a proud man. This is like one of the best parts of the show. Shawn was having stupid stuff at work, and we had to swap the show from like Wednesday to Sunday. There's other options. I'm like, I don't know. The guests are great. Ashley, you're wonderful. I just like to hang out with Shawn. Like if there were like some episodes where like the guests like couldn't come, I'm like, that's okay, Shawn. We'll talk about something.
Right.
But yeah,
We'll talk about some. Oh, you deleted the pictures. You sneaky.
About what?
You deleted the pictures.
About the octopus?
Yeah, you deleted that.
No, I promise.
Don't worry, I uploaded it right back for you.
I don't think. I 1,000% did not.
It was gone. Well, I uploaded it.
It says to it right here.
Yeah, I just had to re-download it.
Okay.
Now it says that there's 3 downloads. What's going on?
Yeah, I was petting the dog. I promise I was not. I'm not afraid of them. But Shawn, Ashley, what kind of advice can you give someone? Shawn and I are supposed to be, partners, paranormally, and we're supposed to go on these solo run challenges and all these investigations together. Just the two of us, real cute. And he's just been ditching me lately, and I feel like we don't get to go on enough investigations, just the two of us anymore. And I mean, he's a busy man, he's got a family and everything, but like, Ashley, how would you like approach this situation and like tell your paranormal partner like, hey, maybe we need to go on more dates together, like maybe we need to go on more investigations together? Like, how do you
we could hold on. So Ashley, apparently now you're a couples counselor.
Yeah,
and
he just told you. So
paranormal couples,
a paranormal couple counselor.
Shawn, how does this make you feel?
If I had known that you felt this way, I could have gotten something scheduled. But I've been working really hard on getting a location to manage myself through the Underground Paranormal Network. So we're saving a historical building, and then we'll have access to that, and we can do our solo challenges there.
Brian, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, I just know Shawn's a busy man, and I know he's doing wonderful things, and I'm very proud of him. It just feels sometimes like I just want to go to investigation.
You just miss your bud.
You just miss your solo runs.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you book the nunnery for some Saturday, and we'll make it happen. Yeah,
it's just every Saturday that like we try and get together. It's
well,
I know
you go when
it can't be a Saturday.
Ass cold outside, and you want my balls to be inside my butthole all night.
Well, wait. It was the cold? I thought you were busy.
Well, I'm cold and it's not busy.
Oh my gosh, it's actually just not real.
No, it's both. So look, I am busy.
Oh my God.
And I can't. Okay, now listen. My wife does work on the Saturdays. Like her, so like she's got this new job, and she's supposed to do overtime one Saturday a month. Well, for the past couple of months, it's been every goddamn Saturday. It's driving me freaking insane. I finally got a Saturday off. I got to go to Greenville. Or she got Saturday off. But guess what? Next Saturday, I have to work, and she's off. So isn't that fun?
Not for Brian.
That's when the no headshot boxing is.
It's just.
I know it's stupid.
I miss you, Shawn. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I miss you. Well, we'll make something happen. How's that? We'll make something happen.
As long as you can make the beeple sound every once in a while, then I think we're gonna be. I think we're gonna be a-okay. What do you say, Shawn?
I took the beeple. I took the battery out of the beeple.
I don't want to hear the beeple. I want to hear you.
Oh.
All right, we're all forgiven.
I know you're going to record that. You're going to do some stupid video out of it.
I'm not going to record it. I mean, it's already recorded.
I know.
He's going to take a sound bit.
He is. He's
Yeah.
going to do something. I know he will.
Communication's key. Wolver. Let me communicate to you then. I'm going to need a little more Shawn time on the intro 2, on the show. Make him do the stuff. Like, make him do the diving in Lake Erie. Like, I want to see it. I'm excited.
I would totally dive in Lake Erie as long as I'm, like, totally covered in none of that freaking flammable water ends up in my suit.
You can wear, like, a bird suit. Like a big bird suit.
I'm kidding. I'm saying that for those who are not from Cleveland or have not heard of Cleveland, the Cuyahoga River caught on fire back in the 60s or 70s. It was so polluted. Oh, yeah, no, I'm going to be Sasquatch bait.
You're going to be bait.
Well, what if we had you on as a guest and we had you be alien bait?
Ah, jeez, I'm busy that day, Shawn. It's cold. My wife works.
And then he works. And then
I work. Jeez. I'm probably beating people up on that weekend, honestly.
Oh, Adam Kimmel came on to say hi to Ashley.
Hello, Kimmel.
So, Linda, real quick, the building did not fall through. We're in the works. It's a work in progress. Sorry, go ahead. Back to Adam. Hi, Kimmel.
Hello.
The dog's working that night too.
Dog's always working.
Look at that. He's just. She's just like sitting there. Like I've never seen like she's not a small dog either. She's like on
like
your lap.
Pounds. Yeah,
and she's like on your lap on this computer chair. Look at her. She's just loving life.
Y'all talking about me?
No. That is all Shawn. Shawn's got the moves. I just got the poodles. That's it.
Poodles of poodles.
Poodles. Look at this. This is the oodle of poodle. You know,
big ass poodle.
Oh yeah, look, you got a little extra, and that's the biggest thing. Like when I know what you guys are thinking. How does this relate to the paranormal community? Well, you know, like when you're starting your paranormal adventure, one of the key things is to have like a therapy dog, because if you run a paranormal team and you bring people back to your home, you can actually have dogs to help them just in case they're living some trauma. Maybe they got scratched on the investigation or something helped them, or something hurt them, or something crazy happened. You can have them as like an added extra benefit to your members of the paranormal team. And also, who doesn't love when everyone's afraid? Oh my gosh, I don't want to get into the paranormal community because I don't want to bring something home. Well, if you have an animal such as a poodle, they might be able to detect something that is there that you don't see. It can help you identify if you brought something home, and then you can leverage your paranormal network, for example, Shawn, and he can come over and bless and sage whatever demon out of existence of your home. So keep your family safe and get poodles.
I'm the all-powerful. So actually, you bring up a really cool point, though. So I
hope so.
My dog, his name is Gramps. He is a Tennessee brindle hound. So he's a hound, the big floppy ears, but he's got the brindling. So he's striped like a tiger. He's like so cool. Anyways, there's been times when I've taken him for walks and I'll sense something off like in the distance and he'll stop and he'll like look at what I'm sensing, what I'm feeling. I'm like, ooh, you need to come on an investigation with me sometime. Like how cool would that be to see how a dog...
We bring animals all the time.
You do?
I've brought cats before, like one of my friend's cats. Asked her to borrow it. We've done dogs. My mother-in-law's dog. It's very. I guess it just reiterates what you're feeling because, like you said, like they look and I'll be feeling like I need to go to a certain room. I don't know how it works with you guys, but like they just kind of like talk to me. I hear what room they want us in or what wing they want us in or go this way, go that way, that and the third, right? And when we walk into the building, the dogs would go into the same rooms that I'm getting or thinking about. And the 3 instances that we actually had the dog with us, when we take pictures around him, you would always get these like masses behind them. It wasn't like figures or anything, but just shadowy masses always near them somewhere in the frame.
A location like yours is like perfect for that though, because of the type of people that were there.
Exactly.
I mean, how cool! I mean, people do that in real life. They have dogs come to hospitals as therapy dogs, as visitors. So that is awesome. I was actually going to ask, like, would you allow this to happen in investigations? I would love to do that. Now, here's the thing. This is the one thing that I kind of thought of though. If I were to bring my dog, that's me choosing, I'm going to bring him into this haunted location. He's got no say. So is there like, right, like that? Is there like?
There have been animals who don't want to go into the building.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they'll be like, no, this isn't for me. And this actually used to happen all the time. We'd get like stray dogs, and they'd come right up to the fence. I remember I told you guys like, as soon as you enter like the fence area, you just feel the heaviness from this location, and they'd come up to the fence and just fuck off, never come up. But since it started shifting, how I told you guys, we've built the relationship, so it's way more relaxed in there, way more playful, more than aggressive now. Since that energy has shifted so much, we get stray animals there all the time. I actually have a video of cats using, and don't ask me why I filmed it. It was just to show my friend who was not there, like, what the fuck is happening? Cats were using our sewer grate as a litter box. Like, they come up into the asylum now, like in the back area where none of the animals ever would go before. Yeah. And they're there all the time. And dogs come up constantly. We have dogs that will break into these investigations. They'll be sitting there trying to do an investigation. You just hear like paws running, and a random dog from the neighborhood is just now inside of the asylum. I've never seen them go past the gate. Now they're coming inside and not wanting to leave, really. I've almost come home with like 7 different dogs in the past 2 months.
So was there a before and after? Like, was there like a event that you can remember of they never come near and then now they're coming in?
Just, again, just the shifting of the energy. Like, I'm going to tell you guys, it feels really heavy when you're in there. It still feels heavy, but it doesn't feel aggressive. It used to feel like the whole building was going to try and attack you. It's like a human entity in itself. It's a living entity, the building feels like. And now it just feels more playful than harmful. Looking at it, even just from the street, people get bad and uneasy feelings just looking at it. And I don't know if it's just because of how it looks, but I feel like it's because there's so much concentrated energy in that place. Regardless of whether or not you're sensitive, it affects you physically and emotionally.
I believe that, for sure.
How'd you come across this place where you're just like, oh, yeah, that looks cool?
I was pregnant, actually, and we were in Broken Bow doing a family vacation, and it was during the summertime, and usually summertime is like water skiing or zip lining and things like that, and I couldn't do any of that because I was pregnant. So like, I'll go ghost hunting. Might as well go on an investigation real quick. And the places I find, I don't like going to the big locations. I like going around town and asking people if they've had any instances where they've had people tell them about a haunted location or themselves had an instance in a haunted location, things like that. And everyone kept saying the Broken Bow Asylum. So I found it on Facebook and actually started talking to whoever was running the page at the time. Come to find out that was Andrew. And he told me that it was a haunted house, like they ran a haunted house there during October, but that there were so many claims that it was actually haunted. So I told him, you know, I work for the American Ghost Hunter show. I can come in and live stream it for you. We can try and get you like more viewers and more traffic coming in for October. And he was like, that's awesome. So I went to go try and pay him, and he would not take the money. He was just so interested in what was actually happening, like getting responses to things that they'd been experiencing. He was like, no, I just want to see like what's going on and how this is happening. He's like, but I'm not doing it inside the building. This place creeps me out. So he actually sat outside in his truck and watched on Facebook Live on the American Ghost Hunter show while I was doing it for the first time. And I investigated for 3 days straight. Well, like I went home and slept, but like just kept going back every day. And it just, you know, those locations that just kind of become a part of you that draw you back all the time. This was more than that. This was, I don't even know how to describe it aside from an obsession, kind of, but not like in an unhealthy way. I just really wanted to get to know all of the different spirits and energies in there. And I don't know why that location was so much different, because we go to a lot of places that have people who are not at rest. But for some reason, these people in this location resonated with me more for some, I don't know. I cannot describe it to this day. Mm-hmm. So that went so well, and they got so many people coming in from the live stream during their October run that he asked me to run summer tours, doing like paranormal history tours, haunted history tours, all those different things. I would do like little mini investigations, like beginner guided investigations, where I would teach people how to use the equipment, how to interact without being provocative in our words and provoking constantly. Like having to retrain people not to talk to spirits like Zach Baggins is the most frustrating thing in the world sometimes. But it's also one of the most amazing moments, because you get to sit there and change someone's way of thinking for the better. You know what I'm saying? They're like, I didn't realize how rude that really was. Like, I didn't think about it in terms of we're speaking to people who were once humans. You know, they just sit there and they're not animals. They're not circus animals. They're not there to perform for us and act on cue, and making people realize that it's not going to be instant. Like as soon as you ask a question, they're not going to answer you, or you ask them to move or touch something. It could take 10, 20 minutes, 2 minutes. It just depends on how long it takes for that particular energy or spirit to gather enough force to do what we're asking. And after doing that for so long, I want to say that was in August. So then that October, he asked me to be the co-owner, so that way I could run the paranormal stuff the other 11 months, and they would run the haunted house just during October. And then he didn't want to do it anymore, so he asked me if I wanted to buy the building, and I said yes. And so now I own it.
That's awesome that you're able to just
That is cool.
Yes.
Yeah. And it happened because they didn't want to work in there anymore. It originally was bought by 3 gentlemen, Ray, Andrew, and Che. It was called the RAC Asylum originally when they opened it for the haunted house. And Ray was in there one day with his daughter, and they were walking down the corridor to the left. And she said, "Who was that man?" And there's nobody else in the building. That freaked Ray out so bad that he was like, fuck that, not going back in there. So he was like, you can take my name off the lease. I'm done, not helping with this anymore. And then Che was actually in there redoing the electricity. He was up in the attic space, and he heard someone come up and start talking in his ear. And he was like, nope, fuck that. He quit.
These guys are all about the makeup. They're all about the fake fear, the fake scares.
Yes.
Once the real shit starts happening, bye. Okay.
A lot of the workers for the haunted house actually quit too, because they didn't realize that place was actually haunted. Like while they were waiting for their cues or something, they'd be grabbed or pushed or shoved or touched or hear someone talking. And they were like, this is really haunted. Fuck this. I also have people who come in for the haunted history tours that once they hear something, or stuff happens during our tours all the time. Yeah. Like you'll just hear someone like walking in between us, or hear someone laughing or talking in the other part of the hallway, or coming from one of the other rooms and stuff like that. And they're like, this place is really haunted. And I'm like, well, yeah, what? Haunted history tour. Like, yeah, it's really haunted. And they're just like, no, thank you. And I've had so many people walk out on tours because they didn't realize how haunted it was, or that it was actually haunted. Because it's very active. Like even just during the day, no matter what time it is, something's always going on in there.
I don't think spirits know what time it is. Now, if they want to be heard, they want to be heard when they want to be heard.
Yeah.
You know, but there's a lot of cool places that do that. Ohio State Reformatory does it here in Ohio. So does Lincoln County Jail. At least Lincoln County Jail used to do it until COVID. The city wouldn't let them do it. So they've been doing these tours where they have like actors come. But I actually got to investigate the old Lincoln County Jail after the haunted house. It was like the week after or a little bit after they broke down the haunted house. We were the first team to investigate since that, definitely. And I'll tell you what, that place was absolutely insanely active.
It's chaotic. It feeds it. But that's why I wanted to stop the haunted house, because it feeds it the wrong type of energy.
You're feeding it fear. You're feeding it. I mean, the fear, I guess that is kind of a negative energy. So.
Well, because you have to think about the people who were in there, though. It was mostly elderly people, mostly people who have had some type of trauma in their lives, kids who had tons of trauma in their lives, being level E offenders and releasees. Like the building was just built for people who had trouble in their lives, and they didn't have visitors. They didn't have love. They didn't have a home. They didn't have warmth. They didn't have just visitors that would sit with them and take the time to learn about them or get to know them, really. So once every year, they were just bringing in people, scare the shit out of them, then leaving the building stagnant for 11 months, just stewing in all of that energy with no care to these energies that were left in this building. So that's why, like, if you ask the people who've been coming with me since I first started going, they will tell you that this place grew, like it changed. You felt the stages that we went through, because I don't like crossing things over. Regardless of what anyone says, you do not know where you're sending them. You don't know, like, if we're sending them to the other side, we're helping them cross over, but where are they going after that? Like, I don't want to be responsible for making an energy or spirit feel comfortable and passing over, and then them going somewhere where they're being hurt. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like that's too much responsibility. I don't like crossing over. I also don't let people cross over things in my location. I do not allow that. I do what I call light sessions. So it's basically like therapy sessions with ghosts. I just sit in there for hours and hours and hours on end, asking, does anyone have a story? Would you like to come forward? And talking to them like that and getting to know their names, their favorite colors, their favorite foods, like just like you would at a family reunion or with a bunch of friends you haven't seen for a while. Yeah. And showing them that someone cares, someone will continuously come back and give you love and give you support and give you a nice, safe home. You know, so every time I go up there, I always have snacks and treats and stuff for them, which I know ghosts can't eat it, but it's just the thought that counts. Patrick said, or Shawn said, always respect the spirits. I do have not necessarily a rule, but it does work so well. And every location, but specifically the asylum, now teams have also started getting, when they don't say please and thank you, because I say please and thank you after everything, I'll be like, go fuck yourself, please and thank you. Like, I'm very big on please and thank you. And when teams don't say please and thank you in their sessions, they'll get manners. Like as an EVP, like someone coming through like manners, like reminding them to be kind, because it goes so much farther than being aggressive and abrasive with them. Which, like when you're in a jail, like there are different locations where you have to adjust the gears and the way that you approach them. You know, you can't just be all nice and soft and willy-nilly with someone who's been in a prison, but you also can't just automatically assume because someone was in prison, they're going to be a nasty, horrible spirit. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what they did in life, or if they were like false keys. There's so many different things that we need to start with respect as the basis and then go from there and engage how we react to those encounters after we've established like a base connection with them.
So you're saying we shouldn't just go there and provoke and yell at them?
Yeah, don't be a Zach. We don't do that.
No, what, as far as like the crossing over, I've spoken to quite a few people about crossing spirits over and if they believe that they can actually do that and if it's a thing. And you mentioned that you don't allow that at your location. What exactly? I mean, I know you're empathic as well. How do you feel about just the act of crossing over spirit, whether it's your location or at a park somewhere?
I think that most of the people have the intent of doing something kind, thinking that they're helping, but I think it's very irresponsible, because unless you can sit there and show me definitive proof of where you have sent that person, where they have gone after that, you just promised them peace. And what if you ended up crossing them, like the people who don't pass, or people who hold on and stay here instead of letting their light filter through? They're here for a reason. You know what I'm saying? You're telling somebody they're going to be forgiven, that they're going to be okay, when maybe they're really not. And you're responsible for that. Like, what if in the afterlife they take tallies of this shit, and when we do finally pass over, they're like, okay, so you sent da 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 to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you weren't supposed to do that.
So you go to a special part of hell because of that.
Yeah. I just don't like I don't like it, because again, most of the people who do it have very good intentions because they feel like they're helping. But then there are so many, especially now with the whole YouTube investigator craze, the YouTube ghost hunters and the TikTok ghost hunters, that these people are just doing it just to up their numbers, being like, I just crossed over 30 ghosts from this location. And it was like, okay, sure you did, buddy. Sure you did, but whatever. So those people, though, I know that they don't really have like the ability to actually do so. So I'm not necessarily worried about the repercussions of those people that they've passed over, because I know they're full of shit. But I think that until one of us goes fully and comes back and can give us that straight up answer, we shouldn't be doing it at all. It's not our place. We can help them grow. That's what I'm saying. Like, when we do the light sessions, if you're an asshole in life, you're an asshole in death. And I truly do believe that. But I also believe that if you spend enough time building a connection with these spirits, and you give them the love or the compassion and things that they did not have while they were alive, you can actually shift their energy. Just like plants, you feed positive energy into something and you can shift its composition of energy. Like, it's really beautiful, because we used to have one energy who, as soon as you walked into the building, he would run up on you, start breathing down your neck, and just try and like attack you and get you
Really?
like super aggressive and nasty and mean. And now he's just like crazy playful, and he's kind of obsessed with me, but that's a whole different story. But yeah, like he's so much different now. So much different now. And I believe that's how we help them. You know, get them to the point where they're happy enough with where they are that they choose to go on their own. We're not forcing them. And people were like, well, they asked for help. But how the fuck do you know that that's what they wanted help with?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Help for what? If they were not specific, you can't.
Right.
Yeah.
There's any number of things that they can want help from.
Yeah.
You know, there's times when, like, I've kind of learned where I'll just maybe say, like, you know, if they say something about like being trapped or something comes through my direct link or something like that, then I'll just be like, you know, you're not trapped. You have the free will.
Yeah.
You have the free will to choose.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah. So, but yeah, when I first got into the paranormal, I would go and be a part of several spirit circles, and they weren't really paranormal investigators. They were spiritual people. You would do these circles, and there's times when they would cross people over, and you know what though, you feel an energy shift with this when it's done right. You feel this energy shift, and you feel and it feels good. It feels like something really good happens, like a weight lifts, and it's really, really neat to really experience it and see it. But it's still, like you said, there's no definitive proof on what exactly it is. I mean, did we send them somewhere? Possibly. Where did we just send them to? That's a very good point, because we could have sent them somewhere.
Yeah, I've never heard that before, but that's a pretty good thought. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good point, because you're right. We don't know. We don't know what's happening.
And everyone, like, our perception of the universe and the energy within it is all different. Like, that's one of the most beautiful things with investigating with a bunch of different types of people. No two people process information the same exact way. So when we're going into investigations, the way I perceive a certain audio capture is going to be completely different than the way you perceive that audio capture in the long run. You know what I'm saying? So we have all these different things that we can add to it. But the people who are saying, well, I know that the afterlife is this, that, and the third, that's what it is to them. To someone else, it's a completely different thing. You know what I'm saying? When you ask all these people who cross things over, each one of them has like a different explanation of where they're putting them. So until we can agree on a solid answer of just exactly what that is, if everyone's giving different answers still, so we just have like 70 different prisms. It's like the Green Lantern universes where they just have like 70 different motherfuckers just all up in cages, like stuck in a different prism because they're like, help, they sent me into a different universe and I'm not supposed to be here. This is me in a nutshell.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. I never kind of thought of it that way, but I mean it's true and it's real. So I mean, no matter how good any of our intentions are, and I always say intentions are key, because if you come in with the wrong intentions, then you know that you get what you ask for. But are intentions everything?
No. Because regardless of how good of intentions you can have, there's always that pause. And you have to be aware that as an investigator, that regardless of how prepared you think you are, there's always the opportunity for it to go wrong. The slightest shift in energy, the slightest shift in your energy, you know, like your surroundings, anything can make it go wrong in just a second. That's all it takes. You have to be prepared for the unexpected, which you can't be, right? But you just always got to be on your toes.
Yeah.
Shawn said he's done.
I did. I died. Ah! I'm so not tech savvy. It's funny, but still. Ah! Look at those teeth. Look at those teeth. Imagine them biting down on your finger. Or worse. Oh, jeez.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I had to do that. With spirit communication, it's something really interesting, and I believe that there are psychics that really do communicate with spirit and really do have that connection. Can a psychic tell us what it's like in the afterlife?
That's the thing, though, is that I've gotten different answers from people, like from spirits that I've encountered. And then I've also heard different things from other psychics or whatever. I hate that fucking word. But those types of people, that everyone has their own place that they go. Like, it's a different experience for everyone. The perception, we perceive it differently. It's different for everyone. And there's also a difference between... Huh?
Like in what dreams may come.
Yes. Now, so there's a difference. So to me, spirits are the ones that have died and their light filtered through somehow, like their energy filtered through somehow, and they've found that peace that we talk about. They're settled, but they choose to come back to this plane. Okay. Now, ghosts are the ones that are like stuck here. The ones that because their energy feels different. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like humans, like how humans have different auras, ghosts and energies and spirits have different like colorations to them. So you can tell that they like process through and they choose to come back as like spirit guides or guardians or just to visit sometimes, like, you know, or just come back and keep an eye on things sometimes. It's all different. It's so much more intricate than just something being like a demon or a good guy. You know what I'm saying? There are different levels to all of it. And I really think that we're sitting dimensionally, like all of the timesheets are just sitting right next to one another. And when we pass away, our energy goes into that next sheet. And some of us have the ability to come back into that plane. And some of us don't have the ability or don't want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all just right next to each other all the time. We just don't see it because of a dimensional sheet thing happening. Kimmel knows what I'm talking about. We've talked about this so much. It's like we're like parallel universes just stacked right on top of one another, and some of us are more in tune, so we see those other universes that we're living in at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like we see all the planes, not just the one that we're on, if that makes sense.
And that's so hard to like explain to other people, and like
without sounding batshit crazy.
Yeah. Like I have a hard enough time because people go, "Are ghosts real?" And I'm like, I mean, I think so, but I mean, I always have the fear in the back of my mind that like, I don't know, that like there's nothing or there's black or whatever. That would suck.
And that's why we're still here. Like that's why they're still here, because there's nothing else to go to. Right? Like I've had a lot of people ask that question. Is that why they're still here? Or they think that because their family members still with them or around them, that they're not at peace. That's a really big thing, is people think that because they're here, they didn't get to go to a good place. So they're stuck and they're trapped. Like if there's nothing better beyond it, we're just trapped here. And that freaks people out. But your aura is so pretty. You're going to go somewhere. I don't know where, and I'm not going to send you there, but you'll go somewhere nice. I'm pretty sure. Pretty positive. With octopi beaks and
okay, thank goodness.
Bengal souvenir and memorabilia everywhere.
You know, like beauty is subjective, and I was just really, really hoping that you would send me somewhere with Bengal beaks. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Bengal beaks. I like that.
Anytime.
Now we're getting into mythical creatures.
Yes. Oh, cryptids are my shit.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to study cryptozoology before marine biology, but it involves a lot of fucking math. And guess who don't do maths? This guy. Yeah. I don't like doing math. It's gross.
Oh yeah, numbers are the worst.
Yeah, truly.
So here, this is Brian's mascot because he likes the beaks. I clicked the wrong button. Come on. Here, he likes the beaks, and he's strong, he's smart, he's intelligent. The main part is he likes the beaks. So, oh no, I just lost it. I so suck at this stuff.
I'm excited, Shawn.
You should be. It's pretty cool shit. It's totally not worth it. I totally built it up, and now it's like, now I gotta find it.
Drum roll, everyone.
It's more like a kitty cat purring, but it's fine.
Yeah, I was. It's fine.
What is this? We'll do this one. Yeah, okay. After today's show is Shawn clicking his mouse. Oh, come on. Now it's not letting me bring up the one I want to bring up. Whatever, we'll just do this cheesy one. It's a griffin.
Okay. Look at that.
Get down with that.
Yeah, the griffin. Yeah. You like the beak. But you're strong like a lion. And you soar like an eagle.
Thank you, Shawn.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh my god.
We might as well end on a high note right there. Thanks everyone for coming.
Wow, it is that time. So Ashley, how can people book investigations for the Broken Bow Asylum?
You can email bbasylumbookings@gmail.com. I'll put it in the chat in a minute. And just message me and I'll get you set up with the invoices and everything. I only have 9 weekends left, though, for the rest of the year. I only have 9 weekends left available. I will rent it out during the weekday. I just need to know ahead of time because I do live 2.5 hours away. I just drive up there every weekend. But, I mean, you guys got to get in while you can because I'm even booking out till 2023 now. So You should probably get in while you can.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Our episode of Deathwalker with Nick Groff should be coming out soon in America. It already released on Discovery Plus in the UK, but it should be getting released here pretty soon. March 12th, we have the Tyler Vinyl Record Expo, which people don't really know this about me, but I'm a very big music and arts and comics, anime, like all that different type of stuff. So I do a bunch of different types of...
Titan, am I right?
Yes, very much so. He said Attack on Titan.
You like Attack on Titan?
It came out at 3 o'clock. Yeah.
But I do a lot of different events and cons and stuff in the Texas area. So on March 12th, we'll have the Tyler Vinyl Record Expo. On April 22nd and 23rd, I have the Tyler Paracon, which is basically a paranormal conference with a bunch of other guest speakers, cryptozoologists, ufologists, all that good stuff. And then on May 6th, this one I'm so excited for because it's like Comic-Con and a Paracon mixed into one thing. So we're going to have like anime voice actors, like cartoon artists and things like that.
That's so cool.
And that's Kilgore Geekend. And that'll be May 6th and 7th. And I'll be speaking there. I'm not sure yet, but it's just like the panel is just like anime speakers, like artists, cosplayers. There's a guy who's a dragonologist. Like there's just a guy who just specializes in dragons. A bunch of comic book artists and things like that. So like we'll all be on a panel together for that one. It'll be fun.
What is your favorite anime?
Oh, definitely Yu Hakusho.
Yu Hakusho.
Yes, Yu Hakusho. That's by the same guy who did oh my gosh, H is for Hunter.
Really?
Yeah, it's the same guy who did that. It's an older series though. It's probably like early 90s it was made.
I've been watching One Piece for like 6 years trying to catch up. So, I mean, I what got me in the anime was being up late, watching Cartoon
Adult Swim, yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Watching freaking
Cowboy Bebop.
yeah, Cowboy Bebop. That was the shit. And
Shin-Chan.
Yeah, Shin-Chan.
Shin-Chan's the shit.
Trigun and the what was that robot one? The
Futurama.
I can't think. Not Futurama. Said Futurama.
What?
That's The Simpsons. I guess I don't know. That's animated. I'll give you that. Oh, but my oldest is huge in the anime. They are.
Yeah, you've posted the pictures that she draws, and I've geeked out over her a few times because I even asked her to draw my D&D characters, which I'm still wanting her to do that, but we just haven't set up a campaign in forever. I'm also a dungeon master.
Dude, I haven't. Ooh. Okay,
not in that way. For D&D, for the nerd shit.
Awesome. I haven't played D&D in years. That'd be cool to play again.
It's hard to get everyone together for a campaign round with COVID. Like, I'm not just trying to have people over so we can die just to play some D&D. Like, I'll wait. It's fine.
Well,
They're coming out with a new series. They're coming out with like an animated series following the original like books for the storylines for the campaigns for D&D. I'm really excited about that. Probably more excited.
You could totally do D&D on like a Skype or something.
You could, but it's not the same. Like it really is because we've tried it. It's depressing because you can't just interact the same way you would having dinner together and like snacks and stuff. Like it's a part of the journey together, like creating that story. You're literally like in a story together.
Right. Well, that's so true, but it's also kind of like have you done a COVID birthday through Skype? Oh my goodness.
No.
You haven't done that? Oh my gosh, my family did that a couple.
We did a graduation for my best friend through Skype, and I was like, why can I hear everybody else and their mothers talking and clapping and cheering? Like, nobody muted this shit.
Right.
We just so bad. So bad.
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's I mean it's a thing, but hey.
You have to time it right. There was a business conference, blah blah blah, and some of the boomers, they just don't get it. And this guy thought that he, I guess, was sly, and like you didn't have to have your video camera on, but he had it on. I don't know, for like, look at me, I'm actually watching it. You know, like one of those like seminar things. Kid went and took guy, like, you know, maybe like 60, 70-ish, I don't know. Went and took a shower. And I said, let's go. Sure enough, comes out. He's drying himself. I said, oh man, you can't be watching this. It's wild. It's wild.
No. Nobody's screaming him to turn the camera off?
No. People in the comments saying, you're the man, blank. Like, blank, you're the man. Man,
that is hilarious.
What a time
Fuck
to be
the
alive.
There's
establishment.
this one guy that like posts these videos where he's like at a Skype conference for like work or whatever. And he's like riding his motorcycle or he's at a football game, stuff like that. That's pretty funny. Is this accurate here, Ashley? You posted this a couple days ago.
Let me see. July 1st and 3rd are no longer available, and April 1st and 3rd are no longer available.
So you're filling up fast. So you guys heard that. So this was just posted on what day?
Like about last
16th.
week, I think.
Yeah, it was last week. It was on the 16th. So
just 2 more days are down.
What the heck?
Look at that, guys. This is you guys want to get into this awesome place. You've got to call. You got to email. And
You don't call Ghostbusters. You call me.
Wow. That could be your thing.
I'm going to get that on a t-shirt and on my car. I'm just going to wrap around on my SUV. Don't call Ghostbusters. Just call me.
Oh, my gosh. Like, when you tell people you do this.
Trademark. Nobody can
right?
steal this.
The people.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
So though, when you like tell people that you're a paranormal investigator, that you do the paranormal, they're like, "Oh my gosh, like a Ghostbuster." Do you just like want to just like scream when they do that? Like,
no,
not like a Ghostbuster. I don't use a proton pack.
I'm always like, no, we don't have the cool equipment like they do. I'm like, but you can trap them, right? And I'm like, depends on who you ask. But that's not what I do. It's not my particular forte. Okay.
There was a show once.
Yes, there was, but we don't do that. My brother one day goes, I wonder what people behind you in traffic think. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, the back of your car looks like you're a fucking psycho. And I was like, well, that's kind of true. I have an alien riding piggyback on a Sasquatch. I have like my Profoundly Paranormal stickers. It's like, warning, I talk to ghosts all the time and like shit like that. And then I have like huge like Sasquatch sticker that says, I believe, in like gone squatching. And my whole car is just like, please pull me over. I do weird shit. Like, it's just, that's not a good look.
Right. Well, on mine, I have, so I have the star from Supernatural. I have the symbol from Full Metal Alchemist on there. I have the Paranormal Investigator.
FMA is the best.
Right? And I love Full Metal. That's
Brotherhood. Ooh. Did you ever watch Brotherhood?
Yes.
The extension of Full Metal Alchemist? Oh my god. Yep. So good.
So good. And so I always kind of wonder, like, people probably just think I'm like some like punk teenager. I don't know, but I don't care. It's fun, and I always wanted to have a nice car to put cool little stickers on. So guess what? I have a pretty nice little car, and I put stickers on it. So, and it's stuff that I like. Like, why do I put stickers that other people like?
But yeah, like, I'm not catering to you. If you don't want to read my shit, look away, Karen.
Right. Oh, there's
anyone named Karen watching, I'm not trying to disrespect you. It's just a turn of phrase, okay?
Right. So like the supernatural symbol though, it's the pentagram.
Pentagram. Yeah.
And so like people are like, oh, you worship the devil. Yes. You're a witch. I'm like, no, it's actually from a TV show.
I don't know if y'all get this up there, but down south, whenever somebody asks, like, what are you doing? And I tell them I'm a paranormal investigator. Like, so you talk to demons? And I'm like, no, wait, what? That's not what happens. They're like, you're not talking to a human spirit. You're talking to a demon. It says in the Bible. And I'm like, well, I think you need to reread your Bible and go all the way the fuck through. Because it actually says shit about people having the abilities to speak to the, like, this is all in your little Bible, but you just need to read the whole thing, not just the sections that make you feel good about yourself.
Because at my old job, there was a lady who, when she found out, this is like when I was like, ear deep in Ectovision Paranormal, documentaries coming out, and we're doing all these events and stuff. And so people found out what I did and stuff. And anyways, this one lady, she's like, "You talk to the devil." I'm like, "No, I'm pretty sure I've never talked to one before." Not pretty sure.
Like I would remember that conversation, lady.
Right? I think I remembered Satan in there. And she's like, "No, you do. That's who you're talking to." And it's just like what you said, that you're talking to human spirits. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Like, ma'am, I 99% of the time I am. And she's like, well, you know, you can believe whatever you want, but I can't be associated with that. I can't have any demonic stuff in my life. And she turned around and walked away. And after that conversation, every time we'd we'd be walking like just to pass each other, like she'd see me coming, she'd turn around and walk the other way.
I thought she's like squirted holy water on you or some shit.
No, she just turned around and walked the other way. She didn't want anything to do with me, like so much that she didn't want to pass me in the hallway. So she'd like turn around, go back in the bathroom, wait for me to pass, and then go. Like
that's kind of how it started in Broken Bow, because it's still like in the Bible Belt strip of the South. And so when I first started, it was like a love-hate type thing. I had like half of the town stopping in front of the asylum trying to tell me stories about things that their grandma told them or their mama told them because they worked in the building or they experienced something like that, right? And then I had the other half like, get away, you're a deep, like evil demon lady woman. And now that the businesses that had like the most problems with me and stuff, have invited them to come and see what I actually do, like see in person. And then so many times when I'm with those people, they're like relatives will start talking to me or something. I'm like, I don't mean to like sound rude, but, and like give them a message. And then like they switch real quick from, oh my God, you're talking to a demon, to, oh my God, it really is my Aunt Sally. I can't believe this. Like changing their minds about it. So now everyone calls me the ghost lady. No matter where I go and broke, because it's a very small, tiny, last little town. So it's not like I'm like famous. It's just that I'm the only one who does the weird shit in town. So they just know me as the ghost lady. So we were actually eating last Saturday, and I'm trying to find a place because my other friend wasn't coming into like 6. I'm like, I'm hungry now. So I went into the local like little gas station to get like a little pizza to hold me over until then. And I hear, "Hey, ghost lady." And I'm like, they have to be talking to me, right? Like, I've heard people call me ghost lady here before. I got to turn around. She was so cute. She was like this little old lady, kind of like the one I had met at Walmart before. The older people seem to like be super into it, which is really weird for that area. She was really little. She was like, "I watch all your live streams, and I went on your haunted history tour during October. I was the lady with the walker, remember?" And I was like, oh my God, yeah, like I'm really good with faces. Like once I kind of focused on it, I was like, yeah, I do remember you. So then she booked something for her daughter's birthday, like right then and there in the middle of the gas station. Was like, "Hey, do you have a Friday open and we can do something for her birthday?"
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. So it's nice that stuff? I do, but really only for friends and people that like that I know won't take advantage of. Because I don't like when people are like, well, am I going to meet someone this year? Am I going to do this, that, and the third? You're asking for things to be set in stone for you, and solidifying someone's forethought about something can actually choose them to take the wrong path. Like they're so focused on that one outcome of what they've been told that they choose all of the wrong things on that road to get there because their preconceived notion of that'll get me here. So it leads you, instead of straight to it, you go a billion different ways around it instead of there, because you're not just letting the universe work naturally the way it should. Like that preconceived notion of, okay, you said I'm going to fall in love, but when? Is it going to be this year? So then you force all these things. You know what I'm saying? Like people change way too much in their lives for things like that. So what I do mostly is I actually do healing stuff. So like I do lots of spell work and I do lots of light work for people.
Oh, cool.
Tarot readings, I do those basically just for like health and problems, like things that need to be immediately addressed. But I don't do like,
you're gonna be a millionaire, you're gonna be this.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like going too far into people's stuff because I don't want to be responsible for leading someone down the wrong path. Like telling someone they're going to have something, and then that preconceived notion of that sets them on all the wrong roads, and I don't want to be responsible for that.
That's like a theme of yours.
Yeah, I'm not responsible. I care about people too much to put them in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I would feel horrible.
You're right, though. It's a big responsibility to do that. So it's awesome that you take ownership of that.
Yeah, I learned the hard way, though, because I used to do them for everybody. But I learned that it got to the point where, like, you tell somebody something and then they'll message you for, like, 3 months straight. Because they're like, I know you said this, but am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? And questioning their every single move. And that's not healthy, like, for anyone, but especially in those situations where they get obsessed with that end goal. So then everything else in their life just kind of, like, falls to the wayside. It's not healthy.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that. Like, it's like people get readings from somebody, and it does seem like they put a lot of weight into those readings to the point where they like depend on them for that.
Instead of going out and actually like taking the action to make something happen, or they do the latter, that they take too much action to achieve that goal when really all that was needed was just that flow into that placement instead of that rushed movement into it.
Yeah.
I like this conversation.
Well, I'll tell you what, this conversation has taken us now 17 minutes over, and I want to be mindful of everybody's time.
Sorry.
Oh, no, I want to be mindful of everyone's time. Oliver and the RU Media Network will let us go all night. Back in the day when Into the Abyss was, when the show was Into the Abyss, man, I think my memories, Adam Kimmel was on for a 4-hour show. Brian, how long was our show when you were a guest?
It was longer than that.
Yeah, like we took up, like, because we didn't always use StreamYard. We used another. It was the
OBS. We used OBS.
Yeah, we used OBS, but the Spreaker. We used all of Spreaker's time for that day. Like, I was like, oh.
You got to pay for the extra packages.
Our time is up, like, legit.
The same thing happened with Kimmel on my show. I think we were only supposed to go an hour. I think we went 3. And then one time with Joe Vitale, we went like 5, almost 5. And it was like 4 hours into it before we realized that we had been on for 4 fucking hours. And we're like, oh my God, dude, do you need to go to sleep? And he was like, no. I'm like, okay, let's keep going. So it's a fucking 5-hour show. Kimmel is hard not to go under like 3 or 4 hours because the rabbit hole is just, instead of a rabbit hole, I feel like it's like a kaiju hole, big and immense and just stupid deep. Yeah, it gets real weird, and I love it.
It does, and you can talk about legit anything.
Yeah,
and there's so much of it, and it just brings a lot of positive energy, and that's one thing that's like so cool about him. He's such a great motivator. He's very intense, but he has like a good heart when he does it. You know what I'm saying? Like the in your face type of like, not aggressive, but just like, I'm here, we're gonna do this, like type of energy that he has. But he's also so caring on the same end. Like he's a pusher and a motivator, but he's also a healer at the same time with his energy. Yeah. It's a good mix. It is. Sure.
He'll fight you, but he'll also tend to your wounds.
Yeah, you don't want to be messing with Kibble. But also you got the whole like Mad crew, the whole
shits, dude.
So he's got a crew for like each location, guys. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
So he's got Indiana and North.
It's a little militia. It's whatever.
I know, right?
Don't pay attention, FBI. It's fine. Can't say militia and to not warn the FBI that we're just kidding, because they're going to send agents knocking on the door any second.
Seminary. That's hilarious. So, wow. So I just linked the website to the comments, so people can email, find the next closest date that is available for you to get in. Also, guys, she actually does so many. We talked about this at the beginning of the show. She has so many great charities that she works with. Make sure to follow those because they really are great causes, and we need more of that. We need more of that in the community. We really do.
Thank you. Yeah, just follow my pages. That's pretty much all I post is baby pictures and shit to help people. So that's all there is. And ghost stuff, obviously, but that's basically all there is. Oh, and bomb ass memes. Y'all are welcome.
Awesome. Well, guys, I guess with that, I don't have any cool. This is our second Sunday. I gotta come up with a good
We hope you enjoyed your Sunday fun day.
You gotta have the echo on that. Fun day, fun day, fun day.
It's more like, I can't even think of the people noise, but like after fun day, yeah.
I don't care. I'll own that shit. I don't care. This people, man, I'm telling you, dude, this scared the crap out of almost everyone that, and like, cause when you're kids and sleepovers, this thing has creeped out just about everyone who slept over at my house when I was a kid. So I don't care. I don't know if it was that or spirit. That I can't confirm. The open cupboards, that was a whole nother story. That wasn't, people did not do that. But with that, guys, seriously, hope everyone has a great, fabulous week. Actually, you know what? 2 weeks now that we're a 2-week show as well. Everyone stay safe, stay healthy. Guys, let's keep on pushing that positive energy out there, guys. We need so much more of that out there. There's so much negativity out there. Let's keep things positive. Let's keep things fun. And we will see you guys. Wow. When is our next show? Because, sorry, brain fart here.
Shawn has a birthday.
I do. So we're not going to have a show on February 13th because my birthday is on the 14th. So we're going to go ahead and do our show on the 20th. So, guys, it'll be 3 weeks. So everyone have a fantastic 3 weeks.
220.
220. That's right. 2/20/22.
Not 420.
No. Oh, where does that fall on? So, guys, but seriously, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for the support. Make sure go check out Ashley, Storm. Go check out your podcast. That's Storming the Unknown. I always want to say paranormal. For some reason, it's always like I do that with the shows too. It's like Paranormal Survivor, and then there's Paranormal Case Files. No, that's not right. Sorry.
On my show, we do cryptids, UFOs, serial killers, dark history, like everything, all, and I call it all under one freaky little roof.
Awesome. See, you have your slogan. I need to come up with my slogan.
I have tons.
That's awesome. So, where can people catch your show, real quick?
RU Media Network on the same wonderful network here. Yes, it's favoritism. It's whatever. But you can also find it on Spreaker, iTunes, iHeartRadio, like wherever you can find a podcast, you can basically find Storming the Unknown. I'm trying to catch up on the YouTube ones. That's not happening, guys. Just letting you know. But for the most part, you can catch all that stuff there. And my other show is the Paranormal Bus Stop. It's me, Shay Carroll, Darren Bess, and Cynthia Gerodius. And we all work on Paranormal Buzz Radio for that one. And it's basically just a shit show with some of my besties.
Awesome.
Yeah, we touch all the things that like people don't want to talk about on shows because it's like taboo and things like that. So we take those and then like basically like a no holds barred session with each other. So it's pretty awesome. And there's a lot of weird shit. Like I do Sesame Street character voices and do 50 Shades of Grey quotes and Sesame Street voices.
Okay. You say 50 Shades of Grey. and Sesame Street all in one. Okay.
Yeah, I do their voices. Like Elmo says, Elmo sure would like to have the sherbet lick clean off his balls.
Whoa.
Shawn, can you incorporate that into Sunday Funday somehow?
Elmo says, have a great Sunday Funday from our paranormal people.
And with that, guys, we're going to end it because that was perfect. Everyone, please have a great week. Thank you so much again for tuning in. And stay safe, stay healthy.
This paranormal adventure that we're all on, it connects us. This is our paranormal community. This is our paranormal podcast with your host, Shawn Gilmore.
He's worked in the paranormal field for 10 years.
He was featured on the TV show Paranormal Survivor that airs on Travel Channel.
His passion is creating para-unity.
With your host, Brian Mursell.
He's worked in the paranormal field for 7 years.
He leads his own paranormal team.
He wants to help people start their paranormal adventure or grow their existing one. This is our paranormal adventure. This is our paranormal community. This is our paranormal podcast.
It's about supporting. It's about making para-unity a real thing because we all need to support each other within our community. And that's what the show has always been about.